What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today we're going to be updating some of our former trade rumors and looking at a couple big name defensemen that have been around and linked to the Maple Leafs recently. There is a lot to unpack. There's a lot to talk about. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. We talk Maple Leafs all the time. We're here talking news, rumors, everything. So let's get into it. So recently I made a video where I was talking about what could possibly happen if the Maple Leafs were to reach out to the Calgary Flames and ask about a former player. Ask about a guy that was a fan favorite. Ask about a guy that was my personal favorite, and that's Nazem Kadri, Nazem the Dream, Nifty Mitts, Nasty Naz, everything that you want to call him. The guy was a fan favorite. He threw a bunch of hits. Man, remember that playoff series against Washington where the Leafs made the playoffs and it was Auston Matthews' first year and he threw a bunch of hits and he was fantastic. You know, the guy is just awesome, okay? He's fantastic. But unfortunately, Elliotte Friedman kind of updated that, and this is coming from the NHL Rumor Report, tweeting out about Elliotte Friedman, and I'm guessing, 32 Thoughts podcast. Following up on Nazem Kadri, the Flames have him for term unless he comes to them and says, I don't think it's working here, or they absolutely get their socks blown off. I don't think that it's happening. So basically what that means is, hey, we're probably not getting Nazem Kadri because the Flames, again, like it said here, have him for term, and they probably still want to be competitive because they have a hockey market that wants them to at least be a little competitive. And the Flames underperformed last year. I don't expect them to be honestly, I don't expect them to be a playoff team, and I think a lot of people would also expect the same thing. But I love the Flames, and even though I'm a Leaf fan, I love watching Calgary games. I'm sure a bunch of you guys, especially when the Leafs win, I think a lot of people love watching it, and then at night being like, oh, the Leaf game's over, let's watch the Flames game. And especially because Nazem Kadri's there. They play usually around 10 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So you get a chance to watch them as well. And, you know, I've been to that rink. I love it there. I think it's great. But getting back to the topic, excuse me, I'm still dealing with this really weird cough. Trying to control it here for this video for you guys. But Nazem Kadri coming back to the Leafs would be fantastic. It looks like it's not going to happen. It's looking like this is just a pipe dream at this point. Naz has been great for them. It's just probably not going to work out. Now, the next bit of business, okay? Defenseman. Now, I'm just going to say this right off the hop. I don't believe either one of these guys is coming to the Maple Leafs, and I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts, but I'm not really sure of this source because, again, these aren't my sources, but this is from Editor and Leaf, and I'm not really worried about the website. James Murphy of RG Media. I'm not, huge into who that is. And that's no disrespect. It's just I'm not aware of this person's work previously. Basically talking about there's more than just hearsay when it comes to the Leafs and Erik Karlsson. An NHL source told RJ recently there's probably going to be salary retained, but the thought that there's some kind of bad blood between Dubas and the Leafs still that would prevent something like this is crazy. This is a business, and if there's enough interest from both teams and they figure out the cap hit in money, then that's all that matters. I'm just going to be the first one to say it. I don't need sources to say that this sounds ridiculous. And I believe David Pagnotta of the fourth period also said that he doesn't believe there's anything there. I could be wrong. Go check that out on his website. Erik Karlsson is not Erik Karlsson anymore, okay? He is, but not for $10 million because right now, sure, his cap hit is 11.5, but there's been retention, okay? So he's in year 7 of 8. The Penguins are paying him $10 million right now. And I just want to go to his numbers, okay? 53 points last year, which is great. 11 goals, fantastic, but not for $10 million, okay? He's a couple years removed from his 25 goals and 101-point season with the San Jose Sharks. He was able to run free and basically do whatever he wanted on that Sharks team because they weren't good. So, guys, please stop listening to certain reports because I just don't believe in any world the Maple Leafs would want to bring in an expensive $10 million Erik Karlsson who is probably going to have less than 50 points this year. And if he has more, that's great, but he's not worth $10 million. When he puts up 100 points as a defenseman, yeah, 25 goals, yeah, sure. 10 million probably sounds about right. But with the way that the Maple Leafs are constructed, and again, you have to ask Morgan Rielly to waive his no move, because if you're moving out, or if you're bringing in Erik Karlsson, the lateral move is not to bring in or to keep Morgan Rielly. You're removing a left-hand shot offensive guy to bring in a guy that's more offensively gifted in his career in Erik Karlsson. So why would the Leafs go from a guy that they think is being a little bit, making a little bit too much money for their liking for what he does, and bring in another guy who's even more overpaid, who does the same type of play, who has the same style of hockey? Now, moving off of Erik Karlsson, because I think it's ridiculous, this one made a little bit more sense, but it looks like the Maple Leafs, again, would have to make Rielly move his no-move clause, which I just don't think is going to happen. And again, same source, RG Media. Teams are calling on Hamilton, and an NHL executive source told RG Media recently, I heard the Leafs looked into him. They're looking into multiple options for their blue line, and a lot of them have offensive flair. That's their strength. So there's a common thread with their trade targets right now, and Hamilton fits the bill. The Stars, Red Wings, and Utah Mammoth are also teams that are willing to go in and try to put him in the mix. Now, Dougie Hamilton is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but again, another guy that I think is getting paid more than what he's worth. Now, he's in year 5 of 7, so there's a little bit of term. He's making $9 million, and if we look at his numbers, again, 40 points last year in only 64 games. The year before that, only 20 games. He played a full 82. Before that, put up very good numbers. The year before that, again, these are just, they're not full seasons, and we've seen when he's played full seasons that he can be very productive and he scores a ton of goals. And to be quite frank, the Maple Leafs need that from their blue line. They need a guy that can score. But what do you give up for Dougie Hamilton, and how available is he? And I don't really know if the Devils are shopping him to the point of like, hey, we're trading him for sure, this is happening. The only way this trade to me makes sense is if Morgan Rielly is going the other way. The Devils get a little bit of a cheaper defenseman, but do the Maple Leafs have to add more to that? How much more do they have to add? Is this a top prospect? Maybe there is nothing. Maybe it's 1-for-1. I doubt it, but this to me, like, it is interesting. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it makes a ton of sense for the Maple Leafs again to be going out there and going after a guy that makes $9 million. I think the Maple Leafs need to find a way to make a trade for a cheaper, offensively gifted defenseman. I don't need the Maple Leafs to spend more money. They do have cap space, and we're going to get to that in a second, but I just don't see it. And when I was talking about cap space here, this is what the Maple Leafs look like currently, right now. And I'm going to show you guys what I've done. So $4.9 million of cap space, right? But I don't think this is fully how they're going to be constructed. This is more like the cap space that I believe they're going to have, close to $10 million. Ignore this trade. I've traded David Kampf. I just chose the Oilers. There would be obviously not the Oilers. I don't think it would be them. It would be somebody else. But I don't think Järnkrok is going to go unless they can fully fit somebody else there. I know there's been rumors of other players, and we'll get to that in other videos. But again, if you're only going to have roughly $9 million in cap space, and that's with carrying Philippe Myers as your extra defenseman, you also don't have that last forward. Could it be an Easton Cowan? Let's just throw Easton Cowan in there. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, and that I'm not saying these are the lines, but let's say you put Easton Cowan in there, $8.4 million. You would have to trade Morgan Rielly or a Brandon Carlo. I don't know why they want to trade Carlo. I think he's fantastic. But if you trade Morgan Rielly, you're obviously going to be changing the money a little bit because he's a $9 million defenseman. But then you're sitting around $6 million in cap space still. You're able to go out there and still acquire another forward. But do the Maple Leafs even have to make this move? Do you even mess with the blue line? I would like to see Carlo and Rielly work together for a full season. Let McCabe and Tanev do their thing. Benoit, Ekman, Larson. Like, I don't want to touch the blue line or goaltending. I think it's fine. The forward group is what needs to be worked on. Do I think Morgan Rielly could use a change of scenery? I personally love him. But yes, I do believe he could benefit from it. But the Leafs also have to replace him. And I don't think replacing him with Dougie Hamilton is the answer. I don't think that it makes a ton of sense to spend more money when they're trying to maybe save a little bit. So you guys let me know down below. More videos are coming, but I needed to get your guys' opinion on this. So leave your comments down below. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. Tell me what you guys think. I love you. I'll see you in the next video reaction. That's my other channel, sorry. Next video or stream. Peace.